Hey, it's Aaron with the Mowing in the Dark Lawn Care Podcast.
Hey, this is Tony's Lawn Care Talk.
Hey guys, Cameron here with the Lawn Care Life in Missouri.
Hey guys, this is Dan White with Lawn Care Unscripted.
What up guys, it's Phil with Phil's Lawn Care.
And you're listening to the Turf Nerds.
Greg.
You got to pat myself here on the back here. I remembered to hit the record button on the camera, on Squadcast, and on the Rodecaster Pro 2. You know what? I think I don't even have a round of applause. There, that's my round of applause for remembering this time.
That's good. You got to give yourself some credit, right?
Well, I don't give myself credit all that often, but that's one thing you have to do even in the lawn business. What's it called? Imposter syndrome, Greg, when you think that you don't really, deserve all the stuff that you have, or your abilities aren't really warranted. So you can't think like that, right?
Yeah, is that called? I think that is called imposter syndrome. Yeah.
I looked it up the other day. Someone used it on a podcast. That's a really one good thing, guys, about listening to podcasts. Clearly not ours. I think I take that back. I have a decent vocabulary, but there's people that say, different words and phrases and stuff, and you just look it up and it helps sharpen your vocabulary skills, Greg, right? So we can sound smarter to our lawn clients.
You talk gooder.
I talk the goodest.
Talk the gooder part of daily junk. So,
I say things.
The imposter syndrome is the
700 billion.
This is how I sound.
$300 billion.
That's how much you make with your lawn care business, Greg. You know your numbers.
That's right. I've got that down packed, and like every day I make that much. So,
hey, speaking of having things down packed, Greg, it's almost like if my wife was 10 months pregnant.
Well, get this, guys. Hannah, she was like 10 months pregnant. They sent her.
yes.
Guys, Raleigh Spencer, I sent him $30 for lunch. He found the drop. So congrats, Raleigh. If we do something like this again, Greg and I will send you some lunch money. Actually, email us. It's all in the show description, and you can get a free sticker too. It's pretty genius, Greg, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But they don't get to find this again. The 10-month pregnant thing again. So
no, that was found on apparently episode 47.
Episode 47 is just a few months in, and unfortunately, you admit it that that was the case. By the way, the imposter syndrome is the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills. And then you're living in fear that somebody's going to find out your weakness and question your competence. So
basically think you're shill. It's like when we're actually, we're not deserving of everything because it's God's grace on our lives, guys. We talked about this in the last episode with Jarrett, which I got really good feedback from that. So Jarrett, thanks again for coming on the show, but it's good to pat yourself on the back there a little bit with the lawn business, Greg, because we do hard work and we've been working hard. We've been getting, Greg, you would admit, just enough rain where it's keeping us busy. And haven't we been able to, tell them, Greg, we've been having some opportunities with some mowers, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had a couple opportunities come up where we've been able to do a little bit of demoing, and then over the next few weeks, over the next few weeks, we're probably going to be able to get some information out. We've had a couple of things come up, so it's going to be dropped over the next few weeks. Probably we'll be starting to slowly put some stuff out for you guys. So I've been having some neat opportunities and exciting opportunities.
I'd say they're neat and exciting opportunities, Greg, and it's been eye-opening. It's been a big learning curve for us to actually learn other machines we've gone through, or we've been able to get some opportunities with a couple different brands just to try out the mower for a bit. One was a tad more long-term, more on that later, but it's been really cool. And I would say this, we'll maybe do an episode on this when we can tell more information about, it is really good to not just stick with one brand. I know Cameron with the Lawn Care Life in
Missouri.
He's the one that has actually talked about this. He goes, he's bounced around from a whole different brands, Wright, Skag, Toro, Fierce. He's done. It's good to really try them out because I've been Exmark and Toro loyalist. Loyalist for 15 years. I have the Cub Cadet Pro X 660, and I used to have when I got into it, guys. If you don't know part of the story, is I had a 36-inch walk behind Greg actually used that too. That was like a wrestling match. But anyways, point being said, it's really good to try different mowers out because they make some pretty powerful mowers, these other brands. But other than that, Greg, it's good. It's heating up, and I'm just glad that we're both on schedule.
Yeah, in terms of getting side jobs done, it's not been scheduled. I mean, I've had 4 jobs that I've been wanting to do for the past month and a half. I can't get to them because we're just getting enough rain that we're pushing into the weekend. And I've had to keep texting my clients and saying, look, I'm sorry, but I just can't get out there and do the job because I got to get the mowing done first. So, and we do need to have a little bit of break as well. So, even our bodies need to be able to rest, and even spiritually, we got to give ourselves a little bit of rest as well. So we need to, it's been tough to try and get some of these things done. Like yesterday, I finally was able to, I got everything done Friday night by about 6:00. I finally got everything done. And then I was able to do a few things yesterday. I went out and did one small job and I got that out of the way. But the other ones, I just can't get to them yet because they're half-day jobs and I just haven't had a half day to do it.
Yeah, we're going to attack a sprinkler job. I know Tony and his dad, praying for Tony's dad. He kind of had a head injury. He, I think he pulled one of the, his head on the trailer, top of the trailer. I've done that. That hurts. But pray for Tony's dad. They were tackling a sprinkler job much bigger than what I think we're doing, Greg. I think it's just a section that I'm going to help you out with one of your clients. It's just the neighborhood. They didn't put the sprinklers far enough in there, and it seems to be a line that's all messed up.
I honestly believe that the sprinklers are in far enough. I think what happened was because that lawn was wet before or during the season, I think what happened was they had the lines blown out the season before or at the end of the previous season, and they didn't blow them out good enough, and I think they cracked. They had some water left in them, and they froze and cracked. So I'm guessing that's the opinion because I cannot imagine that a sprinkler company would come out with their equipment and because they don't dig that stuff by hand. They have equipment, I believe, that is doing all the digging for them.
Like a trencher or like a ditch witch or something.
And I can't believe that the company would do 8 inches because we didn't hit anything else. It's just on that side yard that they would do 8 inches on the rest of the yard and only do 3 inches on the side yard. So I think it's a cracked line, and I've told the client that I think it's just a cracked line. We just couldn't get to it yet. So, but the sprinkler company was going to charge them $900 to do the repair, and I said, no, that's not a $900 repair. I said, I'll come out and I'll do it myself.
You and I can do that. And I mean, sprinklers, be really cool to get a sprinkler guy. Hey, if you guys have a sprinkler business and you want to get on the show, email us. But I'm hoping, Greg, we're hoping, right, that it goes swimmingly.
I hope it does. I think we just got to get out there and have them turn it on, and then we can just look for the water, and then we'll be able to dig it up. But I fully believe that thing had to be buried 8 inches. And yours, what's the maximum depth that your unit will go? Your
that aerator goes to max, I think. So it's a Z Aerate 24. We talked about this a lot, guys. I think the max depth is 5 inches on that thing, and then you can have the Hydroforce sprinklers. They're traditionally set 8 to 12 inches, more on the 10 to 12 section. There's no way. How could these guys put something in less than 8? Like, I'm not an expert on the sprinklers, but you want them a little bit deeper because it's almost like the electric fence, Greg, where they bury it literally an inch or two on the ground. And
that's
we had a little bit of miscommunication, and I went right over it. I'm like, oops.
Yeah, those are ridiculous, and the cable lines too. The Comcast doesn't bury those lines. I would imagine most other people do it. Yeah.
Guys, if you're mowing around cable lines, you got to nag the company and nag the client too. There was one where I think I moved this cable line for 4 months straight. I think Sean Spencer a couple of years ago, he was moving one for a long time too. It's like, ride the cable companies like a dime store pony, because I'm sick of having to get up and off the mower. It's especially hard, Greg, when you're on a sit down mower. You can't move anything unless you have a grabber.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the buried depth too. Those things aren't buried very deep as well. So that was a problem we ran into on that same lawn with the sprinklers. We hit his cable line. and then we hit the cable line of one of the other guys in that neighborhood as well. So we're not going back to that neighborhood with an aerator.
We're not going back to that neighborhood, guys, but you guys do, to pivot, you do need to go to Ezra McCarthy. If you don't have a website, get the single page solo operator special website, guys. Shout out to Ezra. He's been hooking some guys up. He's even done a website for us. Check that out. And then Greg, as always, I'm telling you guys to use the promo code Turf Nerds at the expo. We're looking forward to seeing guys down there at the expo. But to get into the meat and potatoes of the show and the conversation, Greg, we just want to talk about what's in our truck and trailers. I did talk about some equipment and like what we drive, because we have new listeners pouring in every week, and I'm sure, Greg, some of the listeners that come in, even if they're in the most recent episodes, they must be like, what are these guys talking about, and why are they doing these obnoxious drops?
Hello, this is Greg.
So I'll start here, Greg. I'll just kind of go over my truck aspect of things, and then you can bounce to yours. We'll try to keep this pretty tight, but guys, I drive a 2019 Dodge Ram Quad Cab Classic. I got it with 10,500 miles on it. It was for $32,000. At the time, it was a pretty good deal. Got it. Now it's got 41,000 miles. I think I only put, hey, Greg, I tell you that I put only 4,000 miles on my truck from March of last year through the expo.
Yeah, you told me that. I was a little bit jealous, but 4,000 miles, that's tight route density.
I cut about 95 lawns, and there's two different areas I cut, but it's true with route density. Like, that's the key. Like, you don't want to have to drive. So truck's been great. Got the easy dump insert on it, $5,100 for it. I think that's a really good investment. But what I also did, guys, that Ram, it's got coil springs, and so I upgraded those to a more heavy duty. Down the line in the next couple of weeks, Greg, I thought I told you this, maybe not. I'm taking my truck to it's a place called Arc Spring, and I'm going to upgrade the shocks to some heavy duty shocks, because we talked about on the show back in the winter when they were putting the pallets of salt in my truck, and it just with the coil springs, they're not leaf springs, so it was squatting, like the shocks were all the way down, and the truck looked pretty parallel, maybe squatting a little bit. So I'm thinking the shocks just need a upgrade. You'll find this funny too, Greg. For the longest time, guys, I didn't really understand that my trailer had brakes on it. I've had this trailer for 6 years now, and I didn't know how to brake control until one of my clients said, "Oh, hey, by the way, your trailer has brakes. You should get a controller for it." And I did some research. I bought a Technosha brake controller on Amazon, guys. And then if you got a Dodge Ram, you have to make sure that you get the there's a wiring harness for it. So I did that. That was the best $110 investment I ever invested, Greg. But with your truck, what you're talking about, Greg, your controller is actually implemented in your truck, isn't it?
Well, actually, mine's a Technosha as well.
Is it?
Yeah, because they the way they had set. I drive a 1997. Imagine this, guys. I got a 1997 Chevy Silverado, and it's a dually, and it's much more than I need. But the thing only had 60,000 miles on it when I bought it.
Take it.
So, yeah, and so, but mine was it was a cattle farm that the guy had it on. He used it to haul cattle and hay. And so I got a really good deal on it. Hey,
he's got hay.
Yeah.
So you got a great deal on that, Greg. What I also got, guys, which you should get this for your trucks too, if you got a long stop. Take the windows down. But I bought a windshield sunshade.
Visor?
Wow, sunshade. It's like literally called sunshade windshield. It's just a cover for the windshield that keeps the truck cooler. Uh-huh. I thought it was awesome. And then once they put the dump insert on my truck, I lost the actual backup camera. So check this out, guys. It's on Amazon. It's called the Magnetic Solar Wireless Backup Camera. I think that was also $100. It's a 7-inch screen. I can hit the hitch every time and not have to get out 6 times to try to line up the truck. What I've also had for a long time, keep your truck looking spiffy, guys, for what's in the truck. I got Duluth Bucket Seat Savers. They're just seat covers for your truck. And they're awesome. I think they're only $100, and I've had these for years. They've held up really well. And then if you drive a truck, a Ram, it's called the D Lumina center console armrest cover, Greg. So that's kind of what my truck's kind of outfitted with. We'll get into tools kind of next, but why don't you tell more people about your lovely Rancher truck? It was a Rancher truck, wasn't it?
Yep. He was a cattle farmer. So this came from Colorado. My son found it for me. It's, like I said, it had 60,000 miles on it, and it was in 1997. I got it last year. So this thing was, 4,000 miles a year, much like your truck. And so it's in really good shape. The fenders were a little beat up, and I had those repaired. But it's a dually. I was thinking of selling it because I originally got it because I was thinking about doing the junk business as well, and on the side. And I have some injuries that I'm not going to be able to do. But so I was thinking of selling. I'm not going to find another vehicle like this. It does not, when I hook up my trailer, I get about 8 miles to the gallon. So it's got the 454, the 7.3, I guess they call it now. And so it doesn't get the best mileage, but I'm not finding another truck like that probably for a long time. So
I get about 9 miles to the gallon with my Ram.
yeah.
It's pretty bad, isn't it?
Yes. So but it's set up actually for a fifth wheel as well. And but I was going to get your light thing, or your backup camera, but mine has the a different tailgate on it. It's got the vented tailgate, so there was nowhere for me to be able to put the camera. So I'm thinking of actually looking around for one with that you hook up to your license plate, and I can put it on the license plate and work with it that way. So
yeah, we could try to install that. I think it wires in pretty well. I'm not the most handy with wiring.
These are solar and Bluetooth, I think.
Then that'll work.
Get them that way. So
yeah, I mean, mine's great too.
Around to doing it.
It's wireless, guys. It charges. It's solar. I didn't mention that with it, but Greg's right. If you can't get a magnetic camera for your tailgate, do what Uncle Greg says and get one for the license, because I mean, I'm pretty good at backing stuff up, but you want to be able to see, don't you?
Yeah, the downside is it's not. I mean, it's like you said, it's 5 or 6 times, and then you get it perfect. You think you got it perfect, and you put the car in park, and it rolls 2 inches either way. So then you got to move it again. So, but that's one thing I need to do, because I do waste some time like that. But let me see. So that I'm trying to think if there's anything else on it. It's nice with the power windows, because my old F-150 had the hand crank windows, the primitive kind.
I had that in my Ford Ranger.
Yeah, and my AC went out on my F-150, so in the morning I'd roll down my window and have to keep it down the rest of the day. You know, I'd have to lean over to the other side, the passenger side, and crank the window down. And then on the Ranger, that's not as hard, but on the F-150, that's a little bit further. But it's a nice truck. I got to admit, it's a really nice truck to be able to ride.
Yeah, I'm kind of jealous, Greg. And it's a 3500 dually, and I'm kind of trying to coax him in. I'm like, hey, we can get a dumper. Oh man, it's my son out the. He's crying. We can get a salt bucket for a salter for Greg's truck, and we get him into the commercial snow game here too. That's really the truck to do that in, and that's what I'm kind of jealous with. But let's hop into some tools here, Greg. You know, I think the tool section here is going to be awesome. This is what I carry in the truck/trailer, but I've had this for the longest time, guys. The Milwaukee M18 half-inch impact wrench. It is awesome, and I got the red lithium high output 18-volt battery with that. It's fantastic. It's really expensive, but I've had this for years, and it's been absolutely awesome. And so I spent some bucks on that, Greg. But that's why I take my mower blades off with that. The one problem with it, it's almost too big, Greg, and you can I've actually broke some of the bolts on my Multi-Force by when you actually take off the blade. If you have it on the wrong setting, it'll actually break the bolts. So I've had to dial that down. What do you use to kind of take off your blades?
I got mine from Harbor Freight, and it's a Impact, and it works really well. I don't remember which model it is. I forget, and but it works. The only problem with mine is I think it's a half inch, so I had to get the conversion. And the issue I have is that when I have to put the conversion piece on it, and then put the it doesn't work so well. It makes it a little bit too long for me. So, but that one's worked really well, and I got a decent rate. I think I paid $100, maybe less for it, and it's worked out really well. I've been pretty happy with that one. So, but it was based on, you told me to go ahead and get one because I think the first time I tried to take off my blades, it didn't go so well without an impact. So, yeah. And, I guess I'm not as strong as I think I am anymore. And, but I got that, and that works really well.
Well, also for another cheap alternative, guys, which I've been thinking about doing, my buddy Nick he actually has an impact gun from Harbor Freight. It's a 20-volt cordless half-inch. It's a Bauer, and I think it's like,
mine's a Bauer.
Tap here on the website now to look at. This Bauer one's, it's $45. It's got great ratings and it works. And they also got there's a 20-volt cordless 10-inch chainsaw that he loves. But Harbor Freight's got some great stuff, and I'm trying to get some more tools, Harbor Freight tools, for my biz, because I only use really wrenches and sockets, Greg, and the basic stuff from Harbor Freight is fantastic. What I also got, Greg, got the Milwaukee M12 grease gun. That's been awesome for greasing the wheel hubs on the trailer. Your trimmer heads, guys, make sure you grease the trimmer heads at least once or twice a season. Anything that has a Zerk fitting from your mower to your trimmer, grease that. Grease guns, but I have some pretty funny stories about trying to install grease in a grease gun, Greg. The first time I got the Milwaukee M12 grease gun, I got a whole new tub of grease. Yeah, I'm a stupid idiot. For some reason, I took out both sides of it, and it got grease all over the driveway and everywhere. It was not my finest hour, but even just a regular old pump grease gun works too. I think the M12 goes for like 100 and some change on eBay. That's where I was buying mine. And the grease gun, it's an interchangeable battery with actually the Milwaukee M12 tire compact inflator. Greg, that's one of the best things I ever got was that tire inflator. That thing's pretty nice. Don't you have one for your truck that plugs into the lighter? Because that works just as well.
Yeah, mine plugs into the lighter and it works well. It's got a gauge on it, so you can set it to whatever pressure you want or you need. And it's pretty easy to work with. It's funny, somebody else gave me another one, and I looked at that and said, "Oh yeah, I'll keep one in my truck and I'll have one at home, and it'll work great." But the problem is the cord is too short, and I'm thinking, how in the heck can you get back to the back, to the back tires? Because it's not long enough. So I got to switch that back out. But yeah, I've got that. I just use the hand grease gun. And
yeah, those are great.
For as little as I grease, when I change my oil, that's when I grease everything. And you do the Zerks. And it's worked well. And I got it at a garage sale. So I think I paid $5 for it at a garage sale. And that was
really, that's smart. Guys, if they're having garage sales and you think the owner has a whole bunch of tools, and go snoop around and look, someone could even be getting rid of Milwaukee stuff, but those grease guns last forever. I think I got the battery one because I think I busted my other one somehow. I had one I bought on Amazon. I had it for years, but I kind of busted that. But what's also saved me, which is in my truck, I got some tool organizing bags from Harbor Freight, guys, but I have a wrench organizer, a socket organizer, and a small parts organizer. The past 2 years, I've really tried to. What really saves you from anxiety and disorganization and plodding around and getting distracted and procrastinating is when your tools aren't organized. And Greg and I, to our credit, good job, Greg. We keep our tools considerably organized so you can easily grab something and put it back. And I'd argue, guys, that's what really will, I guess, separate you from the competition and the Chuck and the trucks and the in-debt Dan is just organizing your tools and keeping things looking nice because you could find it real easily.
It makes a lot of sense to be able to do that. And, I have to admit, when I'm painting, I would I'd put down like my dry brush. And dry brush is what you use, guys, if you don't know. It's for dusting stuff off. If you got some debris on the spot you're getting ready to paint, you can just use an old dry brush and just dust everything off. Well, my problem is I'll dust that off and then I'll put the brush down and then I have to go look for it where I forgot where I put it. So,
Retro.
Yeah, and so that is one of my that's one of the problems I had with painting, because I'd grab something and use it real quick and then put it down so I could finish what I wanted to do. And so it's important to have your tools organized. So make sure you've got that. And you would be. Oh, I had already mentioned the grease gun. The interesting part about that is I had just bought one, a brand new one. I forget what it was, like $50. I can't remember what it was. And I was going, man, this is a little expensive. And then a week later, I was at a garage sale and I saw one, so I grabbed that real quick and returned my other one. So the guy's looking at me going, why are you returning a grease gun? I hadn't used
something
it
else.
yet. And I said, I found one in a garage sale for $5. So, and it had grease in it already as well. So it worked out.
You
But
got
it's
a deal.
important. You had said something about making sure you grease those trimmer heads. And one of the things I noticed one day is I hadn't greased my trimmer head in a little while. And when we had some of that rain a few weeks ago, when I went out and trimmed while it was raining, I could see the water was hitting my trimmer head, and the trimmer head was steaming. So it was
Bust
pretty
the
hot.
gears in that too, because it's like a rotary gear in there. If you don't grease it up, I think it can kind of seize out. It's like engine oil with stuff. Wow, that would have been kind of the sight to see.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I'm looking at that going, I think I need some grease in there. So, and those are pretty, I don't know if I'm using the right grease, but I'm just taking my Zerk grease and my,
It's the same thing. I mean,
and then
there's
you got
grease
those things
experts.
that you can turn them, squeeze, screw it right in into that opening. I just take my, my grease gun and put it up there and hold it, make sure I got a tight fit on there and just squeeze some grease in there. So
Let me rapid fire some more tools here, and then we'll get to the trailer here. I have a Daytona Creeper, guys. If people know what that is, I was forgetting the name of it. It's basically something that you lay on, Greg. Say you're wrenching underneath your car, and it's like basically a bed on wheels. I'm butchering it. And it's got an adjustable headrest. I'll lay on that creeper. I like to scrape off the deck and dry concrete, but if it's wet or something, I'll kind of lay on the creeper to be able to scrape the deck off so you don't get your shirt full of grass seed and then have allergies the entire day. Then what I use to scrape the deck, there's many tools out there, but I got this, it was years ago, Greg. It's just long, it's like 2.5 foot long metal rod. It's got a handle, and that's the best way to just scrape all the grass off of your deck. I also use the 5-in-1 tool and then a metal file to file the blades. I've had a Jungle Jim's mower jack, guys, for years. I think it's almost 10 years. Bought it from Weingarts. I think it was $150 back in the day. It's clearly more expensive now. I've been able to lift up every mower that I've had with the Jungle Jim's jacks. I know Ballard has some stuff. Don't you have a car jack for your mower? What do you use, Greg? I forgot.
I have a Jungle Jack, and then and then I also use a car jack, a floor jack. I can't lift up. I'm not strong enough apparently to use that Jungle Jack on that.
It's kind of tough, isn't it?
On my Bobcat. Yeah. Well, you did it, but I just can't get the leverage, or I'm a wuss, one or the other. But,
you're not a wuss. You've paid your dues here.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
Greg,
I would like to get it a little bit higher, but I can only get it so high on the with that floor jack, but it works. And so that's been working for me. But I do use that on my that Jungle Jack on the walk behind. I can lift that one up, so that works.
What I also use, guys, do this. I'm going to preach this to you, and I don't have it currently for my trailer, but I do bring this. It's a Camco Trailer Aid Plus, so you can actually roll part of your trailer, its tires on this ramp. So the back or the front tire or the back tire would lift up, so then you can change out a tire. Say you have a flat, rather than getting a floor jack and jacking up the frame of your trailer, you just ride your trailer wheel up on this ramp and it sits on it. So then you're able to take a tire off free. And you always want to bring, I got some new trailer tires. They're more heavy duty. You should probably buy an extra wheel and a spare tire. So if you're in a pinch, rather than doing that, you can just put a new tire on and keep going. And bring a tire plug kit. They're a pain in the butt to use, but bring one so you can patch a mower tire or a trailer tire there in a spot. And then what I always do, you've heard our episode on blades with the Garrett Bauer II. I mean, always bring an extra set of blades. If you're out there, when you're mowing and you're mowing and then you hit something, you can just pop on a blade. And that's just me. I mean, that's just how I've always kind of do that. I mean, we do the similar things, Greg, but honestly, that tire plug kit, they're a little hard to use.
Yeah, I've heard that they're difficult, but I guess they're handy to have. So if you need it, Even on your mower, you hit that. On your trailer. Evan tends to hit apparently a bunch of nails and things with his trailer.
I did last year, big time. I think I ran over 6 nails and screws between my truck and my trailer. Speaking of my trailers, Greg, got a 7x16 enclosed Middlebury trailer. I think that was $5,100 in 2019. Upgraded the flooring to 2x10 pressure treated boards, Greg. That ran me $800 because I didn't really factor in the cost of lumber. And then by doing that, had to upgrade the leaf springs. It's all heavy duty now. And then Greg and I, we have all of our trimmers on E-racks on the walls. It's a more simple way. It's a more inexpensive way. You can go out and buy these trimmer racks, but just do vertical E-racks on the walls, and then you can secure them with these E-straps. And Greg, you have the adjustable E-straps. They're pretty nice, aren't they?
Mine are actually. I don't really care for them because they're adjustable, but they're there's a little elastic to them as well, so they'll bounce around a little bit, and then so the things do shift. And but I needed a little bit longer strap, so I'm not that pleased with them, but they work. And that's just really what I needed. But the E-racks, you're the one that turned me on to those. And where I'm at, I don't have to worry about theft. I just don't have any theft issues for me. But I know some guys are gonna, they could say, hey, there's a lot of theft around me. I just saw something where somebody posted that somebody stole one of his trimmers right out of his trailer when he was in the backyard. So unfortunately, so that's kind of disappointing. But if I'm in an area where, like, there's one spot where I park, and actually you've been there with that one apartment complex that you helped me do a cleanup this year.
Oh yeah, you got to watch it there, eh?
Yeah, but because I have to park it on the road or right off the road, and it's a busy road, and just because it's a pain to try and pull in there and back your trailer up and get it in the right spot, and so I just kind of park it. But I close everything up, take everything with me, and close everything up while I'm away from the trailer. So because that could be a spot where somebody could jump on and take a bunch of things. So.
And then also in the trailer, I think you have them too, Greg. We have some horizontal racks for either tools or the blower, because you've been able to mount some tools vertically on the wall. We both have shelving units in our trailer. I made one custom. Yours kind of came like that was like set with it, but it was a custom shelf at the nose because I have a V-nose trailer, and it's just, they have like it was 2x4s on top of plywood, but they have 2x4 mounts for E-tracks. So you just kind of line it all up with the vertical support beams in the front of the trailer and then the wall. It's really easy to do. I mean, the V looks pretty good. And then what I did is I installed a roof vent in my trailer. I had to go through 2 of them because I think first 2 I have, they just broke. And I had to get a little jigsaw. It's 14x14. It provides way better ventilation for the trailer. If you guys want to buy one, I think this is really cheap. It's like $50 on Amazon. It's called Hengs Industries RV, kind of roof vent. And then you and I, Greg, we both have these Anderson Hitch jack blocks, those red ones. Those have been really nice, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been working. And I think I had to buy them as a 2-pack, but it's great because I keep one at home and I keep one where I store my trailer. So it's pretty handy to do that. So the other thing that I'll have on mine is on those E-hooks or in E-tracks, they're shovel and tool hangers, which are kind of nice. I think you've seen those. And so I can put my my rakes and my spades and my steel square transfer shovels and my pitchforks. Those will go on there as well. So I just keep those all hanging. Nice. Yeah. Those have been kind of nice. And I used to at one point I was putting my blower, hanging my blower on one of those as well. It works. So. Yeah, it worked. I was able to get it, and it just gets enough that I can kind of feed it through there. So that's been helpful to be able to do that. Going back to inside my truck, a couple of things I was thinking of is I just bought. It's called a Magic Fiber Anti-Fog for my glasses. And especially with all this rain, you try and put your mask. I wear the gator out there. Oh, boy, yeah. I keep a bunch of gators in my vehicle as well. But I put my gator on and I put my glasses on, and then, glasses start fogging up. So I just bought this anti-fog stuff, and I tried it out the other day, and it seemed to work. I'm not sure if it wasn't cool enough or anything, but I didn't get any fogging up on a day that was a little bit wet. And that's generally when you're going to get it, when it's a little cooler, when it's a little wet. That's when you're going to fog
humidity
up.
gets in your eyes.
I'm sorry?
Because it like your eyes fog up. It's like humidity.
Yeah, on your glasses, on the inside, on the inside of the glasses. Yeah, so it's kind of bad, but I tried it out the other day and I didn't have any fogging issues. So that was something that was nice. I also keep a distance measuring wheel in my truck, so that if anybody wants me to, give them a quote on their mulch, or if I need to put any dirt or soil or anything, I need to measure something out, I just keep a distance measuring wheel inside the truck. My pruning shears, or my lopping shears, I'm sorry, I keep that in the truck as well. Keep trash bags in. And
you want trash bags?
Yeah, I've got a one lawn that they asked me to do pet cleanup for them. So I keep some. I bought some of the
scooping.
Yeah, so I bought the scented garbage bags, 13-gallon garbage bags at Costco.
Scented. Hey, Greg, nice scented bags.
Yes. So I buy those, and then I'll put them in the a 5-gallon bucket, which I keep in them. I keep a couple of 5-gallon buckets in my truck, and then I just drop it inside the 5-gallon bucket and grab my square shovel and go do some poop scooping. And then the client actually lets me just drop it in their garbage can. So I just walk into the garage and drop it in the garbage can. So that's kind of the reason why I'd use the scented one. And that way, when they open up their garbage can, it's not going to be particularly scentful. So that's the other thing that I'll put in there. So that's been helpful to be able to have that. And I'll carry my oils with me, my 2-cycle oil. And
same here. Yeah, guys, always carry. I was going to say, you took the words. Yeah, always carry extra your 2-cycle oil can in case you run out.
Yeah, and then I have, because of the Opti 2, we should talk about that just briefly, but the Opti 2, you can't use it on your Echo trimmers because it...
or your blower. Ruined mine.
Your blower. Yeah, your blower, you can't use on a blower, but it's okay on the other stuff. And but you can't use Opti 2 on your 9010 blower because it doesn't coat it good enough. It doesn't help it, and I think it burns too hot. So that's an important thing for you to remember. But so I have 2.5 gallon cans where I have one has the Opti 2 in it, and I can use that on my trimmers and my edger. And then on the other one, I keep that Red Max 2-cycle oil, and I just have 2 separate cans, and they're labeled separately, so I make sure I don't use them incorrectly.
That's perfect. To kind of close it out here, 2 quick things that I also have is I have a Bulldog square jack. It's 10,000 pound low capacity. So what happened was my handle jack to raise the trailer that came on the truck, we took the handle off, and then my buddy and I put a nut on it. And then I was using my impact wrench to raise and lower the trailer, and it worked great for a while, Greg, until I was raising and lowering it so fast I busted some internal component inside the jack. So my buddy welded a Bulldog square jack to it. And then real quick, guys, before we go, do this. If you don't want to upgrade your trailer flooring but want to preserve the floor, buy some of this Skid Grip anti-slip coating. It's paint, and just plaster the flooring of your trailer. It's almost like water resistant and waterproof, and that way it'll help your trailer floor not just get waterlogged with gas and oil and things like that. And I even have my ramp painted too, and it's really held up nicely because even your floor, Greg, is painted too. The
trailer. Guy I bought it off of, he had done that. Is that paint slip resistant? I would assume.
So it's slip resistant here, and I'm looking at it here on Amazon right now. And I actually have a can of this. I've had it for over 2 years and I haven't used it yet. I haven't had a free day to go out there and just paint it. So my actual ramp or gate of the trailer, you can't put 2x10 pressure treated on that. It's like the way they have that set up, you can't really take that board out. But it's floor coatings. It's anti-slid skid grip coating, interior, exterior. And it's outstanding adhesion, slip resistant, easy application. And so it does a great job, guys. That's something I would recommend, even if you're using that like 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch OSB or plywood for your floor. Paint it. I would paint it twice a year. Put a lot of layer. I mean, Greg, you always say wait till it sucks in and dries off, paint it again. And that really will improve your floor at a much minimal cost than doing what I did and putting those 2x10 pressure treated boards. But
Probably wouldn't hurt to throw a little sand on that too. If you can
Yeah.
throw some sand in there, it'll be a little slip resistant. As soon as you
It'll
put
almost
your paint
help-
down, throw a little sand on there.
Think
spread
about it.
out.
That's a great point. If the sand might help your mower not really slide around there either, like the sand could have a kind of grip in some type of way. Because I don't even strap my mower down my trailer because the way I have it set, like it's level and mine doesn't move. And you do not want to strap the mower down in the trailer too tight if you do have to strap it, because I busted my black 7x16 enclosed trailer for. I think you remember that, Greg. You were just getting into the biz and remember those holes that I made in that. I'm like, okay, but they actually warranted it though. They're like, sorry, we made this cheap.
Yeah, that didn't work so well. So
No.
the other thing I keep in the my trailer is I keep knee pads for if I'm working in the yard for somebody. If I know I'm going to be down there for a while, I keep one of those knee pad things where you can just kind of move it along with you as you go. I'll keep a ratchet set in the back of the trailer. A little small toolbox with a few tools in it. Not a big deal, but I'll keep a hammer, screwdrivers, and then that multi-tool. I keep a multi-tool in there for scraping the deck or so, and then that one tool that you usually get with your blowers and such. So it's got the star screw on it, and
Oh yeah, the 5-star adjustment screw for any Still, Red Max, or Echo blower. Like I have like 10 of those from all the equipment that I purchased.
right. So those. Keep one of those in there. So just some things that we found that have worked well for us to keep on hand.
That's a perfect way to end it, guys. I'll do a quick prayer and then let's just get after this upcoming week. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to get on the show. Lord, bless the listeners. If anyone needs anything, Lord, I pray they could reach out to us and they could just run to you and run to your word, Lord. I thank you for doing the show with Greg. Just bless everyone this upcoming week and let's get out there and make some cash and glorify you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.